Yeah, he's been a revelation here tonight, Clark, scoring almost at will there in the half.
Hard to imagine he'll keep it up for the next 2 quarters, but you never know.
Dudley and Griffin are small and power forwards. CP3 at point with Reddick there in the backcourt. And it's Jordan in at the center. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers. 4 on the shot clock. And dang, here we go. No good. Great D that time from Griffin.
I tell you what, guys, I think most NBA fans can think back to last season when DeAndre Jordan had a dunk for the ages. I remember my son reached out to me by text and said, "Did you see what DeAndre did?" And it was major impressive.
Here's Boozer. Can't get it to go. And the Clippers will come the other way. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. Griffin's shot is good.
Textbook right there. Nice pass, great catch, beautiful finish.
And for DeAndre Jordan, spectacular dunks are nothing new. I read the other day a 9'6" standing reach. He can touch the rim on the tips of his toes.
I read that too. It's interesting. I mean, he's so big and yet so explosive off his feet. So I think he has the ability to be one of the best defensive players in the NBA.
Rose against Paul. Kicks it to Reddick. The feed to Dudley. Jordan up top. Paul for 3. They get it back. Pass to Reddick. Left side Jordan. Goes back up. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Bruce, who's standing by.
All right, Kevin, thanks so much. Let's take a look at the games from around the league that have already wrapped up. It was the Lakers taking the win at Staples Center over the Kings. Phoenix with a loss to the Magic at Amway Center. They've taken 2 of their last 3 games. Their leading scorer, Goran Dragic. That's it for us now. Let's get you back out to the second half of action. Kevin?
Thank you, Damon, for that report.
Well, there's some big games out there, even this early in the season. And a lot to prove for some of those teams.
And Reddick kicks to Griffin. Butler with the steal. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Dishes to Boozer. The Clippers grab the miss. Jordan's got his 4th rebound in this one.
1 for 5 on offense. A slow start here in the second half. Well, the Bulls battled in last year's postseason. Got a Game 7 win in Brooklyn to sneak out of round 1 in what was one of the more interesting series of the first round, but then fell to the Heat in round 2.
Chicago calls timeout. And for the Bulls, no Rose the whole time. And they had questions constantly being asked if he would return. But the team came together, Steve, and showed the Bulls aren't just a one-man show.
You know, they missed him, though, Kevin, and desperately. I thought they performed admirably, but they really needed him against the Heat. They were able to steal Game 1 in that Eastern Conference semifinal matchup, but without him, the Bulls just didn't have enough firepower to beat Miami.
Clippers leading by 12. Paul dishes to Jordan. Dang grabs the miss. For Chicago, they've gone only 1 of 6 from the field in the 3rd quarter. Not how they pictured the half started. Rose double teamed and stolen by Barnes. Paul kicks to Dudley. That is good. Dudley's got 12 points in the game.
Well, it's been all about pace and space with them. Tempo, the fast break points, just a huge advantage.
Yeah, they've been looking to push it all the time and to get that early offense, and they're doing it well. Tell you what, it's hard to argue with the record for Coach Tom Thibodeau of the Bulls, but the rumor mill has it that the front office hasn't been happy with how hard he's ridden his top players. Luol Deng missed time last season with a hamstring injury. Joakim Noah came down with plantar fasciitis. Hey, those things happen, and I'm not quite sure you can put that at the feet of Tom Thibodeau.
The kick outside to Butler. Back to Rose. Pass to Butler. Doubled by Reddick. Butler passes to Boozer. Shot clock at 5. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Well, these are players that have a job to do, and they've been doing it very well. Here's a look at the top passing point guards in the NBA over the course of the past 10 games. Number 1, Chris Paul.
And he's been doing everything you want from that position, getting everyone involved, making sure the defense has to worry about all 5 guys on the court.
Not only has he been doing all that, but as his assist rank illustrates, he's been doing it better than any other point guard in the league. You can't give him enough credit for his passing this season.
And going back to Tom Thibodeau and that minutes load on his stars, it seems it's getting harder for players to weather big minute speed these days.
I think it's going to be really interesting going forward to see this Bulls team this year and beyond. Will that wear them down? Their guys play too many minutes. They've had a lot of injuries. I think it's time to scale back a little bit on the minutes played.
Barnes dishes to Paul. No good from outside.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide open opportunities.
Rose attacking, and Jordan sends it back. Here's Dudley. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. Dudley's got 14 points for the game. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for Los Angeles.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
And also the steals. I mean, they've really been harassing the ball today, forcing mistakes, really turning that into their advantage.
The Bulls making a switch here. Collison with a screen on Rose. Feeds to Hollins. He kicks it to Barnes. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot. It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Paul with the ball. 10 points for him. The kick out to Collison. It's stolen by Dunleavy. Here's Rose. Rejected by Barnes. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. On its way from Rose for 2. And at the end of the third quarter. Clippers leading by 20. So the Bulls 5 right now. The forward combination of Dunleavy and Gibson. Heinrich is out there with Jimmy Butler. And it's Noah in at the 5 down low. Noah with a screen for Heinrich. And it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
They can't afford to give him that kind of look.
Well, it came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to fight over the top of that.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Outside Butler. Here's Dunleavy. He's covered by Collison. And Heinrich gets it to go down on the assist by Butler.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
Here's Collison. And it's good. Up through contact. Hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
The defense has to make an adjustment. They've got to string together some stops, or at the very least, try to force this team into some bad shots.
The Bulls making a switch here.
It was a nice season for former Indiana Pacer Darren Collison last year. Acquired by the Mavs, he stepped into the starting role and responded fairly well.
And for Collison last season, he shot the ball well and upped his rate of scoring and assists.
And it's the increase in assists that encourages me, Kevin. He's not a dynamic playmaker, but I think he's becoming a solid one. And with his quickness and shooting, he really just needs to be more of a point guard, more of a distributor to reach his full potential.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
And giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Carlos Boozer's checked in for Taj Gibson. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Then kicks to Heinrich. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one.
Here's Paul. The Shot misses. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. They'll be off next to Utah for a meeting with the Jazz. That'll be game 4 of this 6-game road trip. Here's Heinrich. Here's Noah. And Griffin sends it back. Ball passes to Mullins. He feeds it to Doug. He passes to Paul. They get it back. The dish to Crawford. The pass to Paul. We're in the 4th quarter here. Just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Griffin. Oh, that's blocked. Now Butler. Passes it to Heinrich. Back to Butler. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. It's Boozer missing. Clippers leading by 17. Crawford outside. Gives him the lead pass. Griffin. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
Heinrich against Paul. Heinrich kicks to Dang. Backs him down. Back to Heinrich. And the Bulls with another miss. The Clippers have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. Paul dishes to Mullins. Back to Paul. The tray. Gets it to go. Paul's got 11 in the second half.
Man, they are spreading the floor and letting it fly, really knocking it down from outside.
And I love that gunslinger's mentality, Steve. Playing to win as opposed to playing it safe. I call it prevent offense when you try to protect the lead. Let it fly, let it fly, let it fly.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
And how did he get that to go?
Even after the whistle, I like the awareness, the alertness, and the presence of mind to finish the play.
DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Chicago.
You know, you go through the regular season, guys, and set all sorts of records for your franchise and wins and winning streaks and all that. You win your division for the first time ever, your first 50-win season, and what do you get for it? Bounced in the first round of the playoffs. It's still progress, though, and I think the Clippers will use that for motivation this season.
Back to Paul. Outside Griffin. 5 on the clock. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Bulls trail by 21. Clark, as you said, the Clippers got up 2-zip on the Grizzlies, but all of a sudden it came to a crashing halt. As Steve, they dropped 4 consecutive games, and just like that, we're out of the postseason.
Yeah, injuries played a part. Blake Griffin sprained his ankle, but I think the Clippers were exposed a little bit too. They're limited offensively on the front line, and maybe not quite enough shooting, but that's why they made the moves in the offseason, and they're looking to pick up and make some improvement in that regard.
Griffin's shot is off. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Dang with it. Chris Paul covering. Noah kicks to Rose. Outside Butler. Hits the jumper in space. Clippers leading by 19 points. And here is Paul. Back to Griffin. To the inside. Shot from 12. And he drops that one in.
It hasn't happened as quickly as he would have liked, but he's finally putting some points on the board in this game.
Rose goes in. The finger roll finish at the buzzer.
You know, if this had come earlier, they might have been able to get back into it.
Yeah, but as it is, too little, too late.
Here's Paul. He dishes it to Griffin. Crawford outside. Rocket 6. Gets the bucket. And the Clippers lead by 21.
And they're not finished yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, that's how you close out a game, Steve.
Here's Rose. It's hauled in by Jamal Crawford. Now here's Dudley. Griffin with
Misses.
So it's Los Angeles winning